Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Welcome to episode 22. 22 guys, y'all have been rocking with me for all, if not most of these videos. So thank you so much. I took a little bit of a hiatus. There wasn't a Thursday video last week because I had finals, but I don't have finals and I'm done with school for at least the rest of the summer. I will start back in fall. But thank you guys so much for your patience. And actually, the Money Show has not gone on hiatus. I was here last week. The topics today are the latest jobs report, as well as um, some of the unemployment data, but it's mainly going to be talking about the latest jobs report of July and if that's telling or not for the next few months. Then our second topic is going to be about data centers that are related to tech and how they are going to be impacting our everyday lives. And then last, I'm going to do a little bit of cryptocurrency 101 because I wanted to educate myself. I did that and I decided to come back and give you guys some information. Hi, East Boogie. Welcome back as always. Um, so yeah, those are the topics we're gonna be talking about today. So let me go back to the first question, which is East Boogie, please go ahead and like this video, and everybody else in the chat, please like this video so more people can be made aware of this on their YouTube algorithms and they can join us every Tuesday around 8 or 8:30. So the question is, are you prepared for a layoff? And I asked that question because the latest jobs report is showing that not that many jobs have been created or as created as expected. And I'm going to answer for myself. I said, yes, I am prepared. And do I want to be laid off? No, I'm not saying that, but I am prepared for it. And this year has been me trying to prepare for it. I hope I never have to use the money, but in the case that I do, I think I'm more prepared than most people. And I've done some other things that can kind of like position me just in case I were to find another job. The learning curve, I've already done that part, so I'll just be ready to get through that. But I like my job. I hope I keep it. Right now, things are doing good, but you never know. So let's go specifically into the July 2025 jobs report. So it was revealed that 73,000 jobs were added in July, but they were hoping for six figures, and this is only five figures. They were hoping for at least 100. I think it specifically was 105. So that is lower than expected. And it also reported, and when I say it, the source is from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. They reported that unemployment is up slightly at 4.2%. They wanted it to come in at 4.1. But I will say the unemployment thing has been steady because I remember seeing when I was doing research that the unemployment was around 4 this time 2024. So it's not like, at least from the data, unemployment has skyrocketed these last 7 months. I did put down on the bottom of the slide some comparative data that shows the difference between 2025 and 2024, and you can see that in 2024 there were more jobs added. It's like all six figures: 114K, 206K, 217K, 175K, 303K, 275. But in 2025, like July, we only added 73K. June 14K, May 19K. June and May were revisions. They were originally reported a lot higher, but the revisions brought them a lot lower. And so that's technically where we are as far as data is concerned. I just said that. I just mentioned revisions in May and June were drastically high. Revisions are normal, but those 2 months they were higher than normal. And they're saying that these revisions were higher than normal because for whatever reason, businesses are not filling out surveys normally. I didn't even know that's how we got our data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, but apparently they send out government surveys to businesses that are non-farm job providing businesses because the jobs report are non-farm jobs. And so the reality is that hiring is down. And I wonder if anybody can tell me in the chat if they know that through either themselves or through people. But I can say I've known people for at least 5 years that have put themselves out there, and the jobs that they were wanting, they didn't get. They did get a job, but it honestly was from who they knew. Jobs as far as getting your ideal job, that is harder. And I guess the question is, why is hiring down if the economy is so good? When you are looking at for these jobs, apparently there are some things that need to be considered. The first is that there are fake listings. And I put scammers in parentheses because people have been scammed out of their own money from people who are posting jobs that don't exist and asking for some type of money to secure the job, or getting their data information to do God knows what with. But that is a wild thing that I don't think was common when I was looking for jobs back in the day. Then a lot of companies are doing obligatory listings where, in order to get some type of government approval or subsidy or whatever, they have to show that they're posting jobs, but they do not really intend on hiring. It's just something that they have to mark off to meet some type of criteria for some benefit that they're going to get. And the result is that whether it's a fake listing, when you have to glean through fake listings, obligatory listings where they don't plan on hiring at all, the job hunt for an ideal job is longer. It's taking years instead of months for some people. And that is unfortunate. So I don't know if you guys have been seeing a lot on social media, but they're saying, if you have your job, keep your job. Don't quit your job. Now, when I quit my job, which is like the handle of my YouTube channel and my TikTok, a lot of social media that I have, I did quit without having another job. I don't think I would do it then, but that was a different year. That was in 2023, and it was just a different vibe. Now, I did prepare myself, but I do not think I would do that now. I do not think I would do that now. I would like to have something slightly going before I just leave the current job that I have. Now, a possible plan for people who are looking for a job is, number one, do not give up. Because when you give up, you're definitely not going to get the job. So I know that's easier said than done. That's why I put here next, like, take mental breaks when needed. Mental breaks are like my secret sauce. Whenever I'm doing anything, I'll take a break. I don't care how long it takes me. I will take a break, but I will keep going. And I do things for decades to say that I'm done with it. So I kind of know what I'm talking about. Like, mental breaks are vital, and they help you not to give up. Because, like, I'm just going to check out for a minute. I'll be back, but I need a moment. Another thing is getting rid of debt. I think that's a good thing to add to a possible plan. And I'm not suggesting anything, but this is a plan that I thought of theoretically. If I was looking for something, like, debt is terrible. And I go through a lot of like, I wish I made more money situations. But what helps me is I am not in debt. I'm so scared of getting into debt that I postponed a car for, it's going to be about 24 months because I don't want to pay anybody anything. And it's a really good feeling to be on the other side, not paying debt. I really don't want to go into debt if I ever have to again. Increase savings, if at all possible. I know that's not as easy as said as done. And then get creative in making money, because I firmly believe money is out there. And this is something I am trying to figure out. I know there's plenty of money, and there are people that have money to give me. I just have to figure out the skills that I have and make them money-making skills. And I struggle with that. I want some money-making skills. The one thing I'm good at is school and learning, but that's not a money-making skill so far that I figured out. But when I do, I'm going to capitalize on it. And I have some ideas, and I'm going to pursue them, but it's only one thing at a time. I'm pursuing the things that I can right now. East Boogie says, yes, no debt, right on. It's the best life. You may not have money like me. Like, I don't have a lot of extra cash lying around, but I also don't have people calling me for money. So yeah. Everybody in the chat, please like the video. So yeah, get creative and making money. Those are my suggestions. Now we're gonna go to the next topic. But yeah, jobs reports, I don't know. Like, it's not looking the best, but I don't think we can say anything until we have probably 3 bad months. It's only the first bad month. Arguably, some people could say May and June, but we're not talking about that. Let's see how we're looking in the fall before we kind of like panic. Would you be okay? The second question for the second topic is, would you be okay with a data center in your area? I'm going to type that. And y'all think about it. Because I need y'all to, and there's other people in here than East Boogie. So would you be okay with it? I mean, if you don't know what it is, we're going to talk about it in a moment. Center in your area. Alrighty, so I said no. And based on the article that I read, Florida is not looking like a hot spot, at least South Florida. And thank God, because we got too much in South Florida. But let's talk more about it. So data centers are coming. And when I say data centers, they are tech industry data centers. And the reason why data centers are a thing, because we need to house all of the tech industry stuff that comes from it. These centers accommodate necessary computing. So this picture on the right is a depiction. It's a building full of computers. Are y'all fans of the show Severance on Apple TV? It's a great show. And for some reason, that area seems like a data center to me. It's sterile. There's only like 4 people working there. And I feel like in every other room that we don't see, there's nothing but computers in there. But as I digress, tech companies, their earning reports are revealing that they are planning to invest billions in these centers. Google is going to invest $10 billion, Amazon $100 billion, Microsoft $30 billion, Meta $60 billion. Now, Amazon is weird to me because I feel like Amazon is a shopping thing. I don't know if they're really tech, but maybe they're going to use tech to, what's that word? Predict what people are going to buy, purchasing patterns, things like that. That's the only thing I think about it. But $100 billion is a lot of money. So I guess they consider themselves a tech company. But the issue is, are data centers safe for communities? They bring up concerns about water quality, electricity affordability, and air quality. These are high consumers of all of these things aforementioned. I've seen a few horror stories of people in the surrounding area saying that their water quality is terrible and they can't drink their water, which is like frightening. As far as electricity, these are computers. They take up a lot of electricity, and they can suck up the electricity from other neighboring businesses that have nothing to do with tech, but these are all businesses that people need to survive in communities that they have developed, as well as air, because once the electricity comes, it starts computing, there is waste in the form of waste being in our air. And in the article that I saw from Business Insider, there's not much conversation about regulation. And that is not surprising. Regulation is not a big thing when it comes to things that are polluting the environment, when it comes to like chemicals from older industry types, and tech is no different, it looks like. And it's estimated that we're going to have about 1,200 data centers approved for construction in the first quarter of 2026. So not too far from here. And when wondering like how much energy is being used, the article mentioned that it's estimated that they use more electricity than Poland, which is a country of 36 million people. That's a lot of electricity. And who's going to pay that bill? Is that bill going to be siphoned off to the people in the community? I ask that because you'll see in a moment. The highest density of where these places are going to go is Virginia. Anybody here live in Virginia? Arizona? Anybody here live in Arizona? Ohio and Nebraska. Virginia has more than 300 scheduled. Arizona, almost 50. And yeah, so there's none really in Florida, but that makes sense because Florida is definitely crowded. For people who are concerned about this, the articles mentioned that you have to watch locally and not federal. And it's because these local communities, so state and cities, they're giving these companies tax breaks, which draws them in. Like, oh, we want the money that comes from it. So we're not even going to charge you taxes because theoretically you're going to bring money into our city and into our state. The thing is, the caveat is not many jobs are created through this. This is different than from like 15 years ago when people were trying to attract Walmart to their area and there was pushback, but people said, oh, but it's creating so many jobs. It did create a few jobs. There were low paying jobs, but a job is a job. these data centers don't really have people. It's just a lot of computers. So there's no benefit of jobs either. It's looking like. I'm not an expert, but it's looking like. East Boogie says, I think the taxpayer would pay. Okay, exactly. So that's why I said, no. Would you be okay with a data center in your area? No, I'm tired. I'm tired of paying bills. So that's why I put at the end of this slide that communities will have to adjust. I wanted to bring this to people's attention because this is something in the pipeline. If you're an adult, you got to think about. Another thing to add to your budget, because like East Boogie just said, the taxpayers will probably be paying for these energy bills, for these water bills, and we're probably going to have a plan B for clean water. So water is probably not going to be free anymore. We're going to have to look into the research that's out there in the pipeline for obtaining clean water just for home use at a minimum, and electricity bills. We got to have a plan for that, which is make more money, which for me, you know what I'm going to say, invest more money so you can have more money working for you later. But, y'all have heard that from me before. Yeah. So that's it. I don't know if data centers are necessarily evil, but it's something to think about. I'm not saying they're evil, but I do think we're going to have to adjust. And unfortunately, I'm tired of adjusting. And I'm technically zodiac sign wise, I'm like the biggest adjuster. I'm tired. Next question is, are you invested in cryptocurrency? Did I put an answer? I don't think I did. So let me just type it. Go ahead, y'all. Answer the question for me. Are you invested? If you are watching in the replay game, let me know in the comments. Crypto. I am not the best typer. Okay, so I didn't put an answer, but I am a no. I used to talk so much crap about cryptocurrency. I will be honest. I don't know if I'm going to give an apology yet. It's too soon, but I will say that it's still here. I was wrong about that. I used to talk so much crap and say it's not going to be here by 2025, and it's here, and apparently it's doing very well. So what is going on with cryptocurrency? As a currency, it began in 2009, and the definition of cryptocurrency is that it is a virtual currency that acts as money and payment option, but it's not backed by a bank. So it's peer-to-peer. And that part is very attractive to me because I hate a bank. I hate a bank. My aspiration in life is to never have to ask a bank for $1 again, because they make the money and I don't. And I want to make the money. See, no, just a traditional investments like ETFs. Okay, yes, same. I'm the same way. But Pank, I put bank. Sorry, that was a typo. Pank transactions are more trusted, which makes sense. They've been around since the beginning of countries. Before America, there was European banks and things like that. So, not gonna lie, that is true. Transactions with banks are more trusted. But even though I trust a bank transaction more, I still don't like the cut between the bank and the person who needs to use the bank. The bank gets most of the advantage, and I don't like that. So that's why I'm like, okay, cryptocurrency can be a good thing because the bank is cut out, and that's why a lot of people, I think, find it attractive. What cryptocurrency is, it is mined on a system of computers. Now, I don't understand this completely, but this was the best that I can divvy up from my source, which was Investopedia. But this mining requires vast electricity for computer operation. So the process of mining it on a computer, you need computers that are heavy machinery and can take all of the electricity that is required to be on this thing for hours, mining for the blockchain that is cryptocurrency. It requires fossil fuel and carbon emissions. So I'm pretty sure the oil industry is all for it. It requires water for cooling purposes, and it's expensive in hardware waste because, again, these are large computers, very large. So in a way, it's kind of like a data center. So when I was doing research for the show, I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool that I talked about data centers first, because cryptocurrency kind of involves that, the process of it. As a currency that began in 2009, it has had its peaks and its valleys. Right now, it has a valley. November, even though it started 29, it started Peaking, doing well, I would say. Its first peak was in 2021 at 65,000, but then it plunged by more than 50% to 16,000. And I remember that people were pissed because they lost a lot of money. But you don't lose your money as long as you keep it in. Now, if you kept it in, you have made it back and more, because, and I know people who kept it in and they don't look at it and they're like, I don't really ever look at it, but there's some money over there. And then about 3 years later, it reached the $100,000 mark, almost a year ago. And July, like a few days ago, July, because this is the beginning of August, it peaked again at 100 and basically 120,000, which made me be like, okay, it might be time. You know why I say it might be time? Because I have missed out on all these gains, right? And one day I wonder if we'll see a $500,000 value. So I could be mad that it's at 120, and I could be like, oh, I'm just going to wait till it drops again. But what if I wait and a year from now it's $300,000? I think that's very possible. Today, specifically, it's 112,000. So it's down a little bit from its largest peak so far, but it hasn't gone below 100,000. So it makes me wonder, is 100 like the new baseline? So I think I want to get in between 100 and 200. I think I'd be happy with that. I'm going to try to see it that way. Now, is there a possibility it could go down to 16,000 again? Yes. Is this a regulated thing? No. So I'm not going to put a lot of money into it, but I think it's time. So how do we invest in cryptocurrency? Couple ways. You can do it on a direct cryptocurrency exchange. One of them is called Coinbase. And then you can do it with a traditional brokerage. I know specifically it's in Robinhood, like on my phone, because that's where my brokerage account is. And there's like one tab over where I can do, cryptocurrency, and there's Dogecoin, there's Bitcoin, there's Ethereum and stuff like that. Now, there are types. I don't know if they have it in Fidelity. I don't know if they have it in, what's that thing called? Charles Schwab. I don't know. Vanguard. But I imagine there's probably more than Robinhood that does it, because I don't even think Robinhood is a traditional brokerage. Robinhood is one of those new age brokerages. Now, the types of investment that you can do is you could directly invest in the coins, which is Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge, and etc. Or you can do ETFs. Now, you can do ETFs that invest in the cryptocurrency that is Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Doge, like it's a basket of stocks. That's what an ETF, but it's a basket of stocks that are relative to cryptocurrency. Or you can get a ETF that is involved in the tech of cryptocurrency. So they may do some cryptocurrency, and they may do the hardware of cryptocurrency. They may do the software of cryptocurrency, and they may do data centers. That's your basket. That would be in the technology industry of cryptocurrency. That's pretty much it for that. Like I said, I'm trying to educate myself a little bit more. So come January 2026, I'm up and ready, because I think we can honestly see 200 coming soon. We're nearing the end of the show, guys. So please, if you are liking, there are 4 people in the chat. Thank you guys for being here. Make sure you like the video before you leave. As far as gold prices are, they went up a little bit, but it's not our peak that was in May. This is another thing that I think is very worthwhile to keep monitoring. And then we are here at our wrap up. It is too soon to truly judge the job situation yet. I firmly believe that. I think we should give it at least 3 more months. Like July, we'll see what August, and we'll see what September is before we can say what we really think is going on in the situation. Data centers are proving to come at a fast pace. None are by me, so I haven't heard any in the streets comments about whether they're good, they're bad, or they're indifferent, but they're definitely a thing. No one knows if cryptocurrency is at its peak or not. Do you think it's at its peak? I kind of think I don't think it's at its peak. I have inkling it's going to get really high. Now, how much does that mean you should invest? I don't think we should go crazy. I'm not going to go crazy, but I'm going to dip my toe in there. And then gold is still going high this year to date. So I still think gold is a thing to invest in, because I don't think people are going to want to invest in American markets these next 24 months. So I think gold is still a good thing to look into. That's pretty much it, guys. Anybody else want to say something in the video? This is your time. Thank you, East Boogie. I really appreciate it. I just kind of want to talk about crypto some more while I wait for people to talk to see if they want to say anything. But yeah, I don't want to miss the next wave. And I really think in the next 12 months, that thing could be at 200,000. And I will be so mad. As far as how much I would like to invest, I'm thinking I'd like to invest like $500, nothing big. And then the year after that, another 5. And the year after that, another 5, But yeah, that's where I'm at. If you guys have any good stories about cryptocurrency, let me know. At this point, it's going to be in the replay game in the comment section. And as always, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me during the show. And I'll see you guys next week for the show. And there will be a Thursday video. Talk to you later.